You're listening to Scribble Talk, a podcast for bid and proposal professionals. My name is Bhaskar Sundram, and with my co-host Ashley Case, we will be sitting down with the industry veterans to share their stories, discuss their career, and learn how to make an impact in the industry. Today's guest is Edith Lopez. Edith is a Venezuelan and a Canadian passionate proposal manager with 14 plus years of experience, especially in the telecom sector. She's always in the bid and proposal bid management field, filling roles as a bid manager and a team leader in Latin American and North American markets, mainly for private customers, and also working on complex proposals. Some of them are close to $1 billion in size. She's a chemical engineer by background and has a master's degree in project management. In 2014, she obtained her foundation and a practitioner certification. In 2015, she secured a certification in business communications at Mount Royal University. And in 2018, she completed the highest level of proposal accreditation, the professional. Additionally to her full-time job in Nokia, as a seasoned bid manager, Edith is also an active member of the APMP Maple Leaf chapter. In the past, she was a communications chair and Western regional chair and a mentor of the mentorship program. Besides, within Nokia, she is also a member of a group that promotes women inclusion in her company. Edith is preparing herself for teaching at university level and is keen to learn and support the growth of others on the proposal management fields, with special attention to the tech sector, as well as keep creating winning proposals. Welcome, Edith, to Scribble Talk. Great to have you with us.
Well, thanks for inviting me, and I'm very happy to be here with you and your audience.
Thank you, Edith. So let's go back to the very beginning, Edith. Where were you born? And let's talk about your high school and education.
Well, as you mentioned, I was born in Venezuela, in South America, in Caracas, which is the capital city. My parents said that it was a bright afternoon that day, so I believe them. I have two brothers, one elder than me and one younger than me. And I lived in Caracas for the first 12 years of my life, and then we moved to what is considered a satellite city, pretty close to Caracas. And in that satellite city, I studied part of my junior and high school. Yes.
Got you. So from when did you move from Venezuela to Canada or United States?
Well, I moved in 2012. So my high school was in Venezuela and my degree was in Venezuela. Postgraduate studies also in Venezuela. So yes, it was recently 8 years ago when we moved to Canada. Yeah.
Got you. And what did you study in bachelor's, and how was your high school and the college degrees?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Let's start with the high school. And by the end of grade 9, it was clear to me that I will be a chemical engineer. I was very decided at that point. Chemistry was my passion, and I was very good at it. So I loved also, and I still love math and physics, and I knew that the scientific branch was for me. And in Venezuela, we have 2 grades for high school, only 2 grades. And so I spent those 2 years learning, growing, and making friends in a classroom of around 23 boys and 5 girls, including me. And I enjoyed my high school years. I was very excited and motivated since I aspired to enter to one of the most prestigious and competitive universities in Venezuela, the Simon Bolivar University. So my high school marks and the results of the admission exam to that university had to be very good. And actually, I did my best, and they were sufficient to achieve my goal. Studying is always that I have enjoyed very much. So I started university when I just turned 17 years old, and the first year at the university was called a preparatory year. I'm not sure if in all the universities it's the same way, but in my case it was, and every student should go through it to the through the preparatory year to compete again to achieve a specific score according to the profession aspire. And the chemical engineering school was demanded at the time, and the score required was high. And that kind of challenges keep me awake. So after too much effort, family support, and a process of adaptation and maturity, I did it. And I started my dream as an engineer, and those studies last around 5 years, including the preparatory year. And the system was divided by trimester, the SCAR, 12 weeks. So the pace was very, very fast, and that trained me for life to manage the stress and goal orientation, achievement, and planning. And well, one important highlight during that stage of my life is that I met who has been my husband during the last 20 years, and we started our love story there at the university. But that was a break only, and after those 5 years at university with only 20 years old, I was ready to move to my next adventure, and my search for job started. Right. So yes, that's my story concerning high school and university. Yeah.
Perfect. So what was the job that you took after university? First job.
Yes. Well, almost immediately, the vessel company in Venezuela at that moment recruited me. And before starting to work, all the young professionals had to complete an oil production specialization program. And that was for 9 months. And the program was out of town in another province or state. And that was the first time in my life that I was living alone, away from my family, away from my boyfriend and some of my dearest friends. So later as a worker, once I finished that specialization, I started as oil optimization engineer. In parallel, I also was trained as an ISO 9000 auditor to lead the quality certification in the zone that I was assigned to, the region. And that event, it was very important for me, and I enjoyed that very much. Since I have been process-oriented since I was a child, and all at once I had the opportunity to lead an important project, to connect and grow my internal network rapidly, and be part of a phenomenal teamwork. After that, I started my connection with the projects in general within the company, and I decided also to pursue and complete a project management specialization in another university in Venezuela, the Catholic University. And after that specialization, I continued to get the master's degree in project management. And well, that was my first job, and in parallel, part of my education in that period. Yes.
Wow. And how long were you there in that chemical engineering career, and what brought you to the proposal field?
Well, that's I would say is a long story. Well, I was there in that company for around 4 years, and later As per family decisions and circumstances, my husband and I decided to come back to our hometown in Caracas. And that change was unplanned and unexpected for us. It was a family decision. That was a real shock for me, but that never paralyzed me. We had to spin our life for good, redesign the professionals and many personal goals all at once. But I knew that it was only in me to transform those circumstances into a positive life lesson. And I consider myself an optimistic person and always count on my family and friends' support and surrounded by positive and perseverant people, builders of favorable circumstances, I will say, always with hope. So I decided to try a new industry sector in my hometown. And since I was an ISO 9000 quality auditor, I applied to a quality analyst position in a telecom company, leader in call center industry, and that was a big change for sure, all from oil to telecom, and full of uncertainty and sometimes real fear, Bhaskar, because I knew that I was moving to a different direction than the chemical engineering path. But at the same time, I enjoyed that position, that quality position. I enjoyed it so much and found a lot of opportunities in it associated to my passion with the projects, processes, and achieve challenging and long-term results. So that was the step out of the chemical engineering path somehow, and away from the oil industry. And later after that, I went to different positions there in that company very fast. It was a period of intense work, even frequently over weekends, and I was promoted to a multitasking coordination position in planning and control, which is other of my passions. And I started to reveal in that point signs of professional maturity and changes, gain more confidence, self-knowledge to recognize what areas of knowledge and performance I enjoy the most. And I wanted to develop them. So I started to design my own career path, which is still a work in progress and constant evolution. But responding to your question, one day after around almost 2 years in that company and with those challenges, a good friend of mine asked me if I knew someone who can perform a bid management position in another telecom company. And at that time in Venezuela, that position name, bid manager, proposal manager, was uncommon. So I asked my friend what a bid manager does. Can you show me the job posting? And I read it, I think about it, and I said, I like this. I have project management skills, I like challenges, I like working under tight schedules, high stress environment. I would love to explore the commercial field, so I can see myself doing and enjoying this. So I applied, and after 2 fun interviews with who will be my supervisor, who was in the United States, and 1 additional local interview, I was hired. That was in 2006. And ta-da! That's my red carpet entrance to the proposal world.
Yes, 2006 onwards you have been doing, that's close to 15 plus years of proposal management. Looking back, Edith, do you have any memorable proposal efforts?
Memorable, yes, yes, a lot. However, let me confess something here. Each time that I create a memorable proposal, almost immediately after comes another one and fades my memory. So I think the problem here is the emotions associated with the proposals. You create a link for weeks or months or years, and you only appreciate the uniqueness of each one. But of course, I have one memorable in Venezuela associated with a huge fiber optic project. We worked it out with the customer and the competition for around 9 months, continuous month, and to make the story short, after 14 rounds, I will say 14, 15 rounds, we won a portion of that huge project, a millionaire project. And the offer team that participated locally and globally with around 80 people working in different times zones. And basically what make it memorable for me is because that was the first huge proposal that I led, and I had a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. And after that, even I received a lot of recognitions within the company, within Nokia, and that was part of the arguments for a promotion later, but also was a point of realization for me that I needed more tools to help my offer teams. That proposal included a lot of improvisations, and at that point I started to find for more external support, even when within our organization the proposal management team and structure is amazing, high standards and good processes, but I knew that it was missing something in me. So I started to search for more help outside, and that's when I found the APMP, the Association of Proposal Management Professionals. So that's memorable for me, that effort, because brought to my attention the APMP. Yeah.
Okay. After joining APMP, is that was that in Canada that you were aware of APMP?
Yes, that was in Canada. I became a member, but it was in Venezuela in that project when I started to follow the APMP. But I started to read more about it. But this was in November 2012, around 5 months after arriving to Canada. I was very excited because I had the opportunity to be a member, and that was a new dimension for me. Yeah.
Perfect. And when did you join the board of APMP in Canada, or Maple Leaf chapter? And can you also share some of the contribution or any memories of being part of the Canadian chapter?
Well, as mentioned, I joined to the Maple Leaf chapter in 2012, and this chapter has some particular characteristic that make it more than special. And one is that it connects professionals from all Canada provinces and territories, And I guess that right now we should be around 350 members, and that is 100% virtually, or with some networking events face-to-face when possible, of course, but it's mainly a virtual chapter. And other important characteristic is that the APMP, the Maple Leaf chapter runs in 2 languages, English and French, of the Canada official languages. So when I joined the APMP, I started just as a member, attending the webinars and observing the chapter dynamic, along with the global initiatives, of course. And later, in 2015, the chapter called for board position selections, and I ran for communications chair, and I was selected that year in 2015. And that was my entrance, and we intensively work with the team in many initiatives at that point, and important steps, aiming to increase the collaboration, the participation, the networking, and of course, the membership. That year, several board members were first-timers too. So we counted with many new ideas, projects, and energy, and it was a beautiful experience for me. And at that point, we created a communication plan, was part of the innovations or new points in that period. We contributed to enhancing the internal organization and functional structure within the board, to give more to the members, expanded the promotion of an already existing initiatives and communications medias, also increased the promotion of contests, break time calls, and the website. We refreshed the website, and additionally, at the moment, the communications teams, since it was a small chapter, we were also responsible for the webinars organization. So we ensure monthly webinars for a year with 60% participation, and by the end of that period, we decided to incorporate the professional development chair position to delegate that important area. So I think that was a highlight how we helped to evolve the board positions to serve better to the community here in Canada. And well, then I took a break from the board and came back by the end of 2017, again as a communication chair, and later as Western region chair. And that was for around 2 years until 2019. And I stepped down again due to professional commitments, an intensive project that I had at the time. And my experience with the Maple Leaf chapter, I would say that was unique. It was a nourished experience. The local team is amazing. The creativity, the opportunities, the energy, and APMP has been a huge part of my career, and well, the Maple Leaf chapter team has been as well. Yeah.
Perfect. So you were also contributed also part of BitCons and local chapter initiatives as well, Edith. Do you have any memorable experience of attending any BitCons or any other APMP wider events?
Yes, Pascal, actually concerning with Kongs, I have had the opportunity to attend two so far, one in 2017, that was in New Orleans, and that was my first one, and that make it memorable, and I had the opportunity to realize how many like-minded people together with diverse backgrounds are working for this field. That was energizing for me. And also the opportunity to meet gurus that were like the first habitants in the proposal world. They promoted and created for many of us these positions, these opportunities. So here their experiences, teachings, firsthand in the Congress was an eye-opener, an inspiration for me. That was the first one. And later in 2018 in San Diego, I went as one of the representatives of our Maple Leaf chapter, and memorable for me was that we won one of the chapters awards as Evolving Chapter of the Year for our efforts to make the chapter bilingual, to address the two official languages in Canada. And that's implied by itself a huge effort for a great local team, Marianne Hecker, Matt Down, Blake Inkster, Fabian Durand, all of them members of the Maple Leaf, and in general, all the board members at that time. And well, Matt, Blake, and I went to the podium to receive the award, and we were so proud. And at the same time, we felt that, that sense of responsibility and motivation to keep working hard for the members' opportunity. So that make the memorable for me, that Congress in San Diego. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Let's also talk about your certification journey, Edith. You also started from foundation all the way, and you completed the highest qualification, the professional as well. Talk us through how it was your journey on the APMP certification as well.
Well, Bhaskar, as I said before, I have been very excited to be being a member and active contributor with the APMP. So I started to dream with the foundation certification 1 year after joining the association. That was in 2013, and I started to find or to search for experiences, attend to the seminaries from the APMP to prepare for the foundation certification, and also to contact people from the Maple Leaf chapter that already had it, to ask their experience and ask for tips. And also, I bought a couple of books and I started my self-study process to present the test. So I enjoyed and learned a lot, and my passion grew immensely. So in January 2014, I presented the test and I got it. So that was the first step, and I was full of motivation, and since I was warm up, I already had the 7 years of experience in the field that was required for the practitioner certification. I decided to continue with that journey immediately that year, and at that moment in 2014, the certification was obtained by filling a questionnaire. I'm not sure if you remember that. And that questionnaire consisted in giving examples, real examples from the own professional experience in 5 areas, I remember, and almost 40 individual competencies. And for that, the APMP offered a mentor to guide the aspirant in that process. And there was a list of mentors offered by the association, and I chose the only one that was based in Canada at that time, Isam Bark, and he was my mentor, and it was a very interesting retrospective exercise for me. So it was to collect the 7 years of experience at that point and put it in paper, responding all or filling in all the requisites for each skill, each competency, and I submitted the questionnaire, and I got the certification in August 2014. So that was a big step, and for me, Practitioner was an intense effort. And well, later in 2018, and as you know, the Congs are very motivational. After the Congress in San Diego, I felt that I was ready to pursue the professional level. That year, Tracy Brettacher, a brilliant and enthusiastic professional, also from Calgary, got the professional level in the Congress, the first day of the Congress. So she was very happy, and since she was from Calgary, we had that connection. So I approached to her, and she helped me and motivated me a lot to do it, to pursue the professional certification, and I started my preparation, and in August 2018 I did it, and of course it was 2 years ago, yes, and last month I renewed it. Yeah.
Perfect. So we have been talking a lot about your early life career in APMP. Edith, let's take a step back and let's talk a little bit more about you. Talk us through 3 things not many people know about you.
3 things. Well, I will say that one of the things that people doesn't know about me is that I practice ballet for 10 years at even at professional level. I was trying to pursue professional level in ballet. That was in Venezuela. As a child and teenager, I was dedicated to that in parallel to my studies, but I stopped at the middle of the career since I preferred to continue with the scientific path. That experience is somehow present for me every day in terms of perseverance, discipline, practice, and study. As a dancer, the practice on a step, a routine, or a piece could take 5,000 times before a presentation. You listen to your mentors, your teachers, you work with synchronism with other dancers, and just to have the opportunity to deliver your best in front of a lot of people, including your family. And sometimes you only have one shot, one public presentation. So for me, that practice for around 10 years it was very important, and it's something that not too many people know about me. Second thing, well, I need short moments of silence and disconnection during the day to be more productive, something that not too many people know about me. And those moments are important to assess my progress according to my daily plans, plans that runs in family, personal, and professionals, aspects, redesign my plans, recalibrate, and recharge. I think that is like a project management habit, I will say, and it's something that not too many people know about me. That doesn't mean that I need to be alone. I can enjoy the silence with people around me, but I need those short moments of silence. And third, that was a difficult question, Bhaskar. Third, I meditate through prayer every day before my children wake up, and that is how I set up my day. It's make easier and enjoyable the rest of the things during my life, or during my day, I will say. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So before we get into the official Nutters round or the rapid random fire question round, Edith, let's talk about your hobbies and interests. Tell us, what do you do outside work?
Well, outside my profession work, well, I love to share with my family. It's one of the things that I dedicate more time, and for my husband and I, the main project that we have in our life at this point is our family, to help them grow the kids. We have 2 children, and we dedicate a lot of time to them, to their activities, to speak with them, to share with them. So for me, it's intense work or responsibility, and at the same time an intense hobby to, right after my daily work, go to pick up my kids and start with speak with them, to share with them, and to help them to grow their own lives. So that is an important project, 2 lives on our hands. So that keep us very, very busy. You don't have any idea how active these kids are. And that is something that is interesting for me, and I dedicate time even to prepare myself as a mother, or on any of the activities that they are interested in. So take me time to read about those, to attend additional associations connected with the school, and that is something that is very interesting for us at this moment of our life. Also, in parallel, I love to work out, and I need it. I work in high intensity training, exercise 3 times a week, and that's allow me to get balance and, of course, stay healthy. And it's a stress reliever, of course. I also like the crafting, the jewelry. I like to those projects, do-it-yourself projects, with related to specifically with the beading techniques in jewelry, and I dedicate time when possible for me to create gifts for my friends and for myself, and it's an activity that I also enjoy with my daughter. And reading, but the reading for me basically is on demand lately, based on what is important in that moment of my life. As I mentioned before, is some, if my kids, for instance, like to explore the debate area. I try to study about that. If I want to optimize something in my life, habits, for instance, I read about habits. And that is how I spend the rest of my time out of work, and also connecting with my family. I have two brothers and my mom out of Canada, so I spend a lot of time talking with them and connected with them, and also with some friends here in Canada. We love camping, and we organize during summer camping experiences for our kids, for us, and we can be a group of 40 people in camping, so it's something that we enjoy a lot as well. And outdoor activities has biking. We are an active family with the outdoors, as you know, here in Calgary. We have around, I will say, like 5 months of summer, the most here in Calgary. So we enjoy the biking, the outdoor experiences, the sun, of course, and later in winter, we also enjoy the winter. Calgary is a beautiful city, by the way. So we enjoy the mountains as well. The mountains are very close. The Rocky Mountains are very close to Calgary. So we enjoy trails, ice skating as a family. Also is something that keep us busy.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, like, so total balance there with activities, family, friends, etc. Okay, it's so blessed that you have all those opportunities there. Let's officially bring in Nutters Round in memory of Howard Nutt. Used to be what we call rapid random fire questions round. So rapid responses for random questions. If there is a scale between 1 to 10, how strict are you as a parent?
7.
7. Okay.
Yes.
Great. If you could be invisible for a day, what would you do?
I will visit my brothers in Argentina to see what they are doing.
God, yeah. If Jurassic Park is real, will you visit it?
Of course.
In a roller coaster, will you raise your hands and scream, or will you close your eyes and scream? What do you do?
I will close my eyes. But if will be as fair options, I will be outside of the roller coaster.
That's great. Perfect. And what's the nickname that your friends have given you, and what does it mean?
Well, I do not have a nickname from friends, but my good father and my younger brother call me Chani. That's in Spanish, the diminutive of Rosana, my middle name. The diminutive is Rosanita. So then they transform it to just Chani.
That's nice. So what is something you have that is of sentimental value to you?
Well, my parents, for every birthday, when I was a child and a teenager, gave me jewelry in gold. Gold jewelry was their gifts. And at that moment, I didn't understand the value of that until now that I am an adult. So now that my dad passed away, I think that concerning material things, those gifts selected with so much love and intention are valuable for me. Yeah.
Totally. If you're chosen to make a special dinner for a very special guest, who will you invite and what will you cook for them?
Well, my two brothers and my mom live out of Canada. I mentioned that before, so that will be my special guests. And my mother-in-law, she's also in Venezuela, so they will be my special guests. And what I will prepare for them, I will prepare the typical food in Venezuela. It's a special bread. Arepas is made of a corn flour, and I will prepare that for them. Yes, to keep in mind their roots.
Yes, I love arepas as well. It's amazing, arepas. Amazing. My roommate in the university days used to be from Colombia. So he used to make arepas, arroz con pollo, pataconas, you name it, all the stuff.
Well, you know it, how delicious they are.
Yes, totally. So what's one personal trait you like the most about yourself?
I will say that the most stressful or complicated the situation is, the calmest and the most perseverant I am. I will say that's something that I like the best from me. And yes, even I haven't lived life extreme situations, but so far it's something that I can manage very well.
Perfect. So who are the people who have been the most influential in your life and career?
Well, in my life, I will say my parents, my husband, and my children. My parents, I admire the effort that they put on us, on me and myself and my two brothers, staying there for us, finding opportunities, cheering us up all the time, and the values, the core values that they transfer to us, their religion, something that has been influential for me. My husband is influential because he's very funny. I laugh a lot with him. And he taught me how to make the optimism and habit to find the bright side and keep going all the time. And my children, since every day they have a lesson for me to help me to be a better mom and a better person. That is concerning my life. And in my career, well, as I have shared with you all, my career and geography have been quite dynamic. So I'm afraid that I could leave out many people who have been instrumental in my professional growth. I have had great teachers, mentors, coaches, and co-workers along the way that have been very important. But someone that is always in my mind and thinking in proposal management field, and maybe he's the responsible for my love for the proposal management area, is my first manager, Luis Avela. He's a person that talk throughout questions. He guided me to find answers by myself. And besides, he is a nice person, and he was not complacent with his team when reaching the comfort zone. So he always pushed us, the team, for more. Now he's a CFO in one of the company business areas. So yes, I miss him.
That's brilliant. So what's one kind or thoughtful thing someone did to you recently or in the past that you remember of?
Well, I receive many every day. I'm blessed, as you said. Those tiny details every day make me happy. But I remember now some funny. And recently it was my birthday in August, and we were in camping, and my friends prepared for me a beautiful party there in the campsite. And the funny point was that two of my dearest girlfriends prepared a very complicated cake for me. I love fruits, so they made a cake with fruits. And but the amazing thing, or the crazy thing, was that one of them, who is a chef, he's in Mexico, and the other one was receiving guidelines and instructions online here in Calgary, preparing to cook the cake. So that was a sweet gesture for me.
Nice. That's beautiful. So what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
When I began my career in general, right after leaving the university, I will say that I wished to know more about emotional intelligence and public speaking. I think both are important skills for effective communication and participation and contributions in around yourself. And I consider myself that I was very shy for years, and somehow that limited the expansion of my network and opportunities at the beginning of my career. That's in general. And as a proposal manager, no doubt I would like to have met and joined the APMP right away after starting my career as proposal manager. I would have accelerated my learning curve and helped me to participate earlier in this constructive professional community.
That's beautiful. So what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
That's a good question, because I have some mentees within the company. So I will say 4 things. First, firmly believe and live the fact that bid management is a profession. That will be the first advice. Even when it still is not taught at universities yet, you need to believe that this is a profession, to perform as a professional. And indeed, APMP has a committee to developing an intentional career path. So I will add to that advice to approach to that committee. Second thing will be to engage with the APMP if you seriously want to pursue this as a career. They are like-minded people. You will count on resources, knowledge, experience, and a positive energy that will accelerate your path and will help you to perform with confidence. Third, I will say that it is important to create positive habits from the beginning. A good practice makes perfection, so identify positive elements and learnings in each proposal that you develop. Try to recognize the value in each team member in your results. Try to find a positive out of every situation. Of course, respect your customers. And all of that will help you to create a positive and winning-oriented environment. And fourth, well, if you make a mistake, do not be afraid. Say sorry, review it, and ask for help. If you ask for help, you will find you will find it. You will find that support, and the people around you will appreciate you engage them to solve a situation or avoid repetition, and keep going. Those will be the 4 advices that I will give to someone wanting to pursue this career. Yeah.
Totally profound advice there, Edith. So 20 plus years of career, Venezuela, Canada, beautiful family, amazing, work-life balance there. What's next for you, Edith?
Well, I have 3 goals clear in my mind, and I will talk this time just professionally. I would like to keep giving back to the profession. I really would like to prepare more and become a teacher at the university and college level. And who knows, maybe I can teach proposal management one day at the university. So that is one of my dreams and goals. I will prepare for that. I also would like to go back more actively to contribute in the APMP Maple Leaf Canada chapter as part of the board of volunteering. And finally, working on telecom, which is a sector predominantly dominated by men. I'm thrilled that the company I work for, Nokia, recognized that we need to close the gender gap, and that a healthy mix of people yields the most views and best results. So I would like to contribute more on that matter for women inclusion within and outside the company. So those are the 3 goals in my mind and professionally now.
That's brilliant, Edith. Thank you so much for sharing those things. Edith, is there any part of your life or career that we missed, or is there anything else you would like to share before we enter the final 1 or 2 minutes of the episode?
Well, I think that we cover everything. Not everything, but yes, I just wanted to add, and since this podcast also is to share with other colleagues that it is important to keep connected as a community, to keep help supporting the association. Take the time. It's not needed a ton of hours to dedicate time to keep growing our profession, to help others, new professionals, and contributing to this field. It's only in terms of career that I would like to add.
Thank you, Edith. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute privilege to have you with us at Scribble Talk. Wish you, your family, both in Venezuela, Argentina, and in Calgary, Canada, and your friends and colleagues, everyone, all the good health and happiness. Please do continue to inspire bid and proposal colleagues and everybody around you. Continue to keep smiling, stay safe, stay healthy, stay kind, stay sane. Thank you so much for joining today.
Well, Bhaskar, thank you. I would like to appreciate what you do, what you're doing for the profession, your time, the well-prepared questions, and promoting the activation within our community to inspire or engage others is unique and incredible what you and other colleagues do. Thank you so much, not only for creating this space, but for the many other outstanding contributions that you do. Thanks to your audience, and feel free to reach me to say hi, or if you find any interesting point for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Look after yourself.
To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Please visit batchyscribble.com/podcast to listen to this episode and check out any of our other previously recorded episodes. If you've enjoyed today's interview, don't forget to subscribe, review, and share the Scribble Talk podcast. We hope you'll check out our next episode where we interview another industry expert and special guest. Until then, it's Ashley Kays
Bhaskar Sundram
signing off.